Hello, my name is Nicole Cronkleton. Welcome to this online/oral presentation for Nursing 309. This assignment is based on research from books, online sources, and my interview with Wei Jai Tsang Snyder. I chose to do my presentation of the Chinese culture within Taiwan. Some facts about Taiwan. The capital city is Taipei. Here, the second largest skyscraper is located, and that is in the picture that you see right there. This is where my informant lived before coming to the United States. She left Taiwan as a senior in high school. She said her uncle was living in the U.S. for years and sent her parents an immigration application. After 10 years, the application came through. Her parents believed by moving to the U.S. their children would have a better life and a better chance at going to college. This led to me asking about the school system. She said it was the same, but they had longer days. A typical day was from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. She strongly emphasized, that the life of a high school student was not much fun. They studied 12 hours or more a day, because after high school you would take a big exam, and the higher the score, the better chances you had of getting into a college were. On the weekend, she said she would study, spend time with friends, hanging out, going to the mall, roller skating, going to the movies, typical American things. There's more facts there about Taiwan. 2.6 million people live there. I asked my informant about the population, and she said that due to the mass amount of people living there, that no one really owns their own car. She told me that it was too expensive because you had to find and pay for a parking space. Most people travel by bus, subway, or taxi. The climate is warm, about 80 to 90 degrees. There's typhoons and earthquakes there. She said one earthquake was so large that she thought her mother was shaking her to wake her up from bed. Politics and economy. Politics. Taiwan was a one-party state before it transitioned to a democracy in the early 1990s. China and Taiwan have a strange relationship, you want to say. Neither one wants to recognize the other one. Economy. It went from a poor economy to a newly industrialized economy. The products include high-tech computers. When I asked my informant about politics, she said she really doesn't follow it anymore, but that she thinks that some people believe that they are Taiwanese and they want to be independent. She stated, "I personally believe I am Chinese from Taiwan." My first Geiger and Davelheiser cultural framework is communication. My informant speaks Mandarin Chinese as her primary language. Her secondary language is English. When I asked her about learning how to speak English, she said she learned it in middle school. They had an English class with an English teacher, and she would encourage the students to have conversations in English, but no one would, because that would be a sign of showing off. Eye contact and touching. While looking online, I found many sites stating that as a sign of respect in the Chinese culture, you do not look a person in the eye. My informant made eye contact with me, and I asked her if she believed in this, and she said, "No, I look everyone in the eyes." Touching. I also read that in the Chinese culture, you do not touch a baby on its head because it's sacred. My informant corrected me that that is a Thai belief, and they don't believe that in China. My second Geiger and Davelheiser assessment is the environmental control. The yin and the yang, the Zhu, Yi, Zi. Let's start with the yin and the yang. The yin. Yin is the female, the negative energy, and the cold. The yang is the male, it's the positive energy, and it's hot. Illness results of an imbalance of these. The Zhu Yi Zi is a Chinese art of postpartum recovery. It means in Mandarin, sitting out the month. It lasts 30 days. My informant recently had a baby. She practiced the sitting out month. There are many rules and regulations to the sitting out period. Based on the rules and regulations, she had to have her mother, who moved back to Taiwan in 2005, come over and help her. Her mother took over the household duties while Wei Jai so-called restored her body back to health. Some of the rules and regulations involve food, and I'm going to read what she stated about food. I couldn't eat anything cold because after you give birth, your body is very weak and it means cold, so I needed to eat something warm. I don't mean warm soup or food, but Chinese people have a certain way to label some fruits or foods that will help heal your body and warm your body and restore balance again. Other rules involve showering and washing your hair. It's stated that you shouldn't do that the first week of postpartum. My informant only lasted 2 days. Another rule is that they're not allowed to go outside for the first month. All these rules, basically, you're supposed to follow them because you can have poor health later on in life. Religion. My informant stated she didn't have a religion, but she believed that there are many Chinese ancestors watching over her and her family, and that sometimes they would go to the temple to pray. Elderly population in the U.S. culture versus the Chinese culture. In the United States, elderly are viewed as helpless, sick, and at times a nuisance. An example is pro athletes and models. The retirement age is 35 or before, and that's extremely young. And most elderly are placed in extended care or assisted living. In the Chinese culture, older adults are respected. They have the last say. They are thought of as they have acquired wisdom from a lifetime of experience, and helping the elderly is a sign of respect and not pity. The oldest son will care for his parents by moving them into his home. When my mother's informant came over to help her with the sitting out period, she stayed at her brother's house. He had her stay with him, and she would just go over to my informant's house during the day. When I asked my informant, like, what would happen to her parents, how would they take care of them, she said that is her brother's responsibility, and that putting a family member in the nursing home is a sign of betrayal. Last is the nursing implications. Western medicine and traditional, the yin and the yang, the use of foods and herbs, and massage and acupuncture. Most people in the Chinese culture believe in both Western medicine and traditional. My informant is a nurse at Doctor's Hospital. She said that the yin and the yang, she believes, basically, she uses them more in her life than in medicine. But we talked about the yin and the yang and the use of foods and the herbs and the ways that they use that to restore health and balance in the body. But some people also believe in massages and acupunctures before Western medicine. Thank you for listening to this presentation. The end.